Okay, so this is Paul's Kitchen, and I am dedicating this recipe to Elijah and Ina. How to make tofu steak. The truth is, I make it different almost every time. It's never quite the same. It's such a versatile recipe. Take basically any kind of tofu, preferably a firm kind. Now, I often use atsuage, which is the fried tofu, and today I'm going to use some atsuage. I also have some regular momen tofu here that I'm going to do it with as well. I've used both. You can fry it, you can put it into the air fryer, you can deep fry it. I've done it in the wood stove over charcoal, and actually that was even the best of all. And I've used all different seasonings on it, but I'm just going to show you a quick way that you can do this at home. So I just came home from work, as you can probably tell. I'm in the kitchen, got my cutting board out. I'm going to pull a knife out of the drawer here, just take the tofu out of the package and put it on the cutting board, and I'm just going to cut it into some slices. Kind of medium thickness. I don't want too thick or too thin. This atsuage is quite a firm tofu, which is nice. So I can cut this a little bit thinner than some others. Now, if it's a softer tofu, like momen tofu, is it's not the softest. Silken is the softest, but the momen tofu, it's not firm by U.S. standards. In the U.S., you have a lot of very firm tofu, which will work well for this recipe. All right, so I'm cutting up the momen tofu right now into slices that are a little bit larger, and I'm going to cut up the last piece here into several different slices. And I'm going to show you this in a second, but some of them I have cut very thin, and some of them a little bit thicker, so that I get just a little bit of variation when I'm doing it. So here is the tofu. Now, let me turn around like this so it doesn't kind of spill. Here's the tofu all cut. And of course I drained this one before cutting it up. I didn't take time to like squash it. Some people press it. I don't have time for that. All right. And then I'm just going to arrange it here on a plate and season it. Now, I've used all sorts of different seasoning. That's kind of the fun. Like, what do you want your steak to taste like? Well, today I'm using Montreal steak spice. Any of these kinds of seasonings like this will work great. And you just want to, pour it on there just like you would for a steak. All right, I'm going to put it on one side, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. All right, so there's one side, all done. Flip it over, do the other side. All right, just like that. A good amount on there. Don't be reserved with how much seasoning you use. It's all good. As long as you're using good ingredients, good seasoning, everything's going to turn out well. All right, I'm going to kind of stack this up. I'm going to get the next group over here. The small plate I'm using, there's not enough to put them all out flat, but that's okay. I just like kind of do this in portions, bit by bit. There you go, a little bit more on there. I'll lift this up here so you can see it. All right, and then just quickly flip this over. It's not perfect. Yeah, but all right, not perfect, but there's one piece here at the end that doesn't have hardly any on it. That's not good. All right, so got the spice on here. I'm just going to flip this over really quickly and do the other side. And I do this as soon as I put the rice on. So I've started rice cooking, and that's going to take me, that's going to take 30 minutes or so. And I get this going right away with the seasoning on it, so that this can be marinating while the rice is cooking. I find that really helps to have a little bit of marinating time for this recipe. the tofu will absorb the flavors, especially the salt. And that's a good thing. Tofu by itself is bland. Let's be honest here. Tofu doesn't have a lot of flavor. And we wanted to absorb all of this yummy flavor. And I do have a secret that I will share with you at the very end. But let's finish putting on the steak seasoning. Okay, I got more on there. I'm going to flip this last one. So this is actually going to make quite a bit of tofu steak tonight. It's always popular. It goes quick. Even when I make it for myself, I can't stop eating it. It's always good. So flip that over and okay, shake out a bunch more here. All right, there you go. Now, at this point, I'm just going to let it sit for maybe half an hour or so. About the time that the rice is done, then I will cook it. Today I am making gyoza as well. So I'm going to cook up the gyoza and then I'll throw these on in the skillet with some more oil and fry them up. But there is one secret. I use ajinomoto. This is umami flavor, which is originally was made from kombu. Now there's other ways to make it, of course. But in English, it's called MSG. And this adds the umami flavor. I find that this really helps to enhance the flavor of tofu and make it more like steak. So after you put that on, let that soak in. And then before you fry it up, put on a little bit of umami flavor as well. And then fry it in the skillet. And people won't stop eating it. There you go. So this is the part where we start to actually fry them. I've just put them into the pan. They're starting to sizzle, and here they are. And I'll just fry them till they're getting golden on one side. I'll flip them over and do the other side the same. The skillet is just about, a medium heat, maybe a little medium high. Not too high because they burn easily. And it just takes about maybe 4 minutes on each side. And they're done. Easy peasy. Alright, so I have fried one side for about 5 minutes and I flipped it. And I just wanted you to see how they're getting nice and golden brown. This part right here is not quite golden brown yet. But that's because it was formerly over here on the outside. But they all should be kind of nice golden brown color when they're done. And I'm going to put this one in for another 4 or 5 minutes or so. All right, my first batch is done. Oh, this is so good. I'm supposed to be taking it to the table, but it's so good I can't stop eating it. My second batch is cooking. This is the momen tofu. This was all of the atsuage type. So the second one will be a little bit different, but oh my gosh. Yummy, yummy. There you go. Tofu steak.